Wow. So for the first three quarters, that was just kind of crazy. But hey, we got to see a majestic dunk by Alex Caruso. How about that? This is Showtime Forum postgame. I am Greg Bergman, at Bergman Greg on Twitter, at Bergman Greg on Instagram, and don't forget to go to at Showtime Forum for everything you need Lakers-wise. And yeah, I mean, that was what you get when you're playing the USA Olympic team versus the Zimbabwean Olympic team, or the Lithuanian Olympic team, or the whatever teeny tiny country you would like it to be called Olympic team, because that was a G League team, and that was really, really bad. A Boogie 0223, I don't give a blank. Lakers won after that Caruso dunk. Totally agreed with you, Boogie. Totally agreed with you. He dunked on the entire team, mostly JaVale. It was mostly dunking on JaVale, but he still dunked on, let's just say that he posterized the entire Warriors team with that massive dunk. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to say, and I'm all for that. Look, can we all agree on that? Let's agree on that, because I think that's the best way to go about it. All right, let's go over to, I mean, really, you know what? I actually want to talk about a few things here. That's disrespectful to the Lithuanian team, LOL, from Robin Yeezy. Not hating 32, not hating 32. Hey, it's really recorded in Greg's closet. It is not my closet. Look, I mean, I could give you a quick little tour, but I don't want to show. It's my room. But yeah, I mean, it's close to a closet, but it's the corner. It is a 5x5 corner of my room. So yes, if you want to say it's a closet, then go right ahead and say that, but it's not a closet, damn it. Bro Walton, yes, I just read the story from Ramona Shelburne, and I got a lot to say about it. I really think it's very, very interesting. I was just about to get it. Pretty sure you're getting to it, though. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to get him. It's his bathroom. Leave him alone. Hey, my bathroom is actually right here. Like, see where my hand's here? My bathroom is right here. I can actually touch the door to my bathroom, just so we're aware of where I am in this area. Donovan Bryan 8, any chance of a post-NBA draft show? Yeah, so here, okay, this is a good question. This is something that's going to be is actually going to happen. I'm going to do shows throughout the summer, just randomly here and there, but Showtime Forum will still have content being pushed out with our podcast, a brand new podcast, Showtime Forum of Adele Del Toro and Ray El Barbone, and they're going to be taking you throughout the entire summer. But I'm going to be doing some stuff here, live shows around draft time, around ping pong balls, around certain big events, and I'll also be doing some YouTube shows. I'll be doing some actual YouTube full-on content, as well as Rael Barbone and Adele will be doing them as well. Laker Standard, it's a closet, Greg. Just run with it. Fine. Laker Facts, we're almost done with the season. I know. I'm only doing one more post-game. Next Tuesday is my last post-game. El Carraza 1, Momo gonna catch Mr. Thompson? I hope so. Everybody go vote Momo right now, as fast as you can. Please, go vote Momo in the ESPN bracket for host bracket pool. Momo deserves to go ahead of Michael Thompson. I know that just goes towards the perception that I hate Michael Thompson, even though I absolutely love him. But Momo is my favorite, so please go vote Momo. It's your parents' basement. I haven't lived with my parents for a very long time, Hooper's ex, but sure. Laker Facts, no clutch. It is not going to be clutch. Ramona, if you actually go look at Ramona's tweets, somebody else responded to her, and she responded that saying if she goes to clutch, though, and then he said not likely. So I believe in what Ramona is saying on that tweet. This is all on here in tweet form that you can see this, that yes, clutch does not look like it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be somebody else. Just start naming off people. Maybe it's going to be Rock Nation. Maybe it'll be CAA. Just if it's going to be CAA, can we not go with Aaron Mintz, please? That's the one guy I would like to not see him go. If he does go to CAA, just not Aaron Mintz. If you want to go to Rock Nation, sure. If you want to go somewhere else, that's totally fine. But please, yeah, and Bro Walton, CAA likely, most likely going to be, that's what I think everybody's saying from what Momo is saying on there. But it is, as it is CAA, and you're saying CAA likely Bro Walton, which I think is kind of out there now. Not Aaron Mintz. That's all I'm asking. Not Aaron Mintz. Maybe he will sign with Pelinka once Lakers fire him. Oh, jeez. I think that would be the opposite of what would happen. And that's very funny, David, by the way. Aaron Mintz has issues with the Lakers, not hating 30. Yes, he does. And that's why I'm saying no Aaron Mintz, please, please. Shane K. Lee, Caruso, Jonathan Williams should be on the bench next season. We're already going to that sense. But Caruso, yeah. I mean, look, Jonathan Williams is also a young guy, too, that is hopefully getting some play. I mean, he's very undersized, but he plays hard. Those two guys, Caruso and Jonathan Williams, both play hard. But here's this. I do want to get into this whole Lonzo thing. Ramona also said Kuzma responded the best during trade talks. Yes, she actually did say that. Ramona says a lot of things, and it's all genius, pretty much. So we're gonna go with a lot of what she says. But I'm just gonna read some of your comments and try and connect, because you guys have a lot to say right now, and I want to make sure I get to everybody. Bro Walton, or man, maybe Bron puts him in touch with Jay-Z at Puma and do the shoe thing there. It could be. Just finished recording episode 2 of the Showtime Forum podcast. Should be up tomorrow. Great. Glad to hear that, Rael Barbone. So Showtime Forum podcast up tomorrow. It'll be on all these sites just like everywhere else. Maybe Demo will be his agent. He's already his manager. You know what? I think they've learned to just no longer from within. That's not what we want to see. Not from within anymore. Move it. Take it. He did this whole thing about, hey, I'm going to be my own man, and I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to take control of my life. And this is the biggest point of his career right now, is taking control of his life and doing something. Changing away from Harrison Gaines, who has been with him since the beginning, is very interesting to me, because in the last article, when the Alan Foster article came out, part of that story said that him and Harrison Gaines discussed it, and Harrison was going to have more control over his life, and Lonzo was going to take more control over his life. And it was going to be the two of them, and they were going to just go ahead and push forward with their career. And now he fired Harrison Gaines, or they walked away separately. It's a little bit iffy to me. It sounds very odd that that's what's happening, because it's so opposite of what they were talking about before. Now, how does these things happen? When you go from Harrison Gaines is going to be having a ton more control to being let go and having mutually parting ways. In reading between lines, that just seems like there's other factors involved that are going on there. And I don't know. And let's try and take this all back just a little bit. So you have Alan Foster and LeVar Ball, and Alan Foster gets going. Alan Foster gets let go because he stole $1.5 million, and now Lonzo is suing him. And because Lonzo is suing him, he covers up the Triple B tattoo on his arm, and he puts dice there. And then it sounds like LeVar starts talking about how Triple B is going to start is going away. And then all of a sudden, LeVar comes out last week or a couple of days ago, whatever it was, and says, I'm not going to cut off Triple B. If that's what's happening and he ends up staying there, then that means that there's more involved there. So let's start thinking this out. If LeVar's keeping Triple B around, that means he has the blessing of Lonzo to keep Triple B around, since Lonzo owns most of it anyway. I think it's like 51% of Triple B. So that means that he'll probably stay there, which means that LeVar is still involved, which means that that's something that obviously Harrison Gaines did not want. He's like, look, it's me and you. Here we go. We're going to go forward, and we're going to push into this new together. Me, Harrison Gaines, and Lonzo Ball, and we're going to take over the NBA. Now Harrison's gone, and it seems like LeVar is still there with Triple B. So at this point, I feel like LeVar is now talking with Lonzo and being very much involved and almost forcing out Harrison, because obviously Harrison Gaines was like, I don't want to deal with your dad. I want to deal with you. And if that's what's going to go, then it's all going to kind of get pushed to the side. And that's where it starts getting really iffy here. So if that's the case, then if he does go, I think someone was saying CAA, or if he goes to what's it called, Rock Nation, wherever he goes, I feel like LeVar now has some more control over that, and that's kind of the opposite of what is good for Lonzo here. And it's disappointing because I feel like Lonzo at this point, if he's going to take control of his life, he really needs to take control of his life and let daddy go off to the side and be like, look, you still be your own man, but I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to sign with Nike, and I'm going to get Nike shoes. I'll be in the Jordan brand or whatever it is. And sorry, I have something in my eye. So I think that's what's it's getting real messy, and I feel like more details are going to come out over the next couple days, and I can't wait to read more. I'm going to have Ramona on with Mason and Ireland tomorrow at 1 o'clock, so if you want to hear more from Ramona about everything that's happening, we're going to find out more at 1 o'clock tomorrow, but this is kind of what it feels like. The feeling is that LeVar is very much involved, and Triple B is still going to be here. So that's kind of where my mind is going with all this. I don't know. You'd let me know what you guys think. That's kind of where I'm heading to. No Hate in 32. Harrison Gaines, his other two clients, Isaiah Austin and John Doe. John Doe, he definitely got fired. Yeah, pretty much. If we let go of Lonzo, we might see another D-Lo case. If he goes to CAA and he goes to Aaron Mintz, then yes, that would be it. But hopefully that's not what happens. Devon Johnson, sign Caruso. More Caruso. Long live Caruso from Devon Johnson. You're all over the place. Hey, Greg, should we sign Caruso? Well, I think you just answered your own self there. So, yes, by the way, yes, he absolutely, and I think more and more so, I was just on here 2 days ago saying that I didn't think he was more than a 15th guy. I still kind of believe that's where he's going to be. I don't really see him as a backup, but as of right now, what you're seeing from him against the Warriors, against the starters, he's dunking on people. He came off the weak side and came up and had a huge jam over, his own guy and JaVale McGee, but he had a huge jam. He's been good with, what was his box score tonight? Because he's been playing very, very well, better than I thought. I understand that he's getting numbers on a bad team, but, sometimes you can just look at a player and be like, all right, that kid's got talent. 9 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, and he was 4 of 14, so with that one huge dunk, though. Yeah, solid bench player, not a starter. Look, he's good for 12 to 15 minutes from Robin Yeezy. Totally agree with that. So, yeah, I think that's what we're kind of seeing from Caruso, all for that. Franklin Peanuts, looks like LeBron is fully influencing or helping Lonzo in his career. One good thing LeBron is actually doing, no? It seems like it, but we don't know that for sure yet, Franklin. So let's say if LeBron is in Lonzo's camp and he's helping out with his career, then that means that if you're going that way, most likely Lonzo would then go sign with Rich Paul and he would sign with Nike. But it seems like he's, according to Momo on Twitter, saying it is not going to be Rich Paul, and looks like it's going to be CAA, someone was saying. So CAA, that's not LeBron, and if he doesn't go to Nike and he stays with Triple B, that's the opposite as well, so I don't think that's it either. Norman Cam, correct me if I'm wrong, but LeVar was the one who hired Gaines and not Lonzo. I'm not exactly sure on the details of that, but I believe so. So if LeVar did sign Gaines, that doesn't mean that he's not the one to say, hey, I don't want Gaines anymore either. He could very well still be both. They are not mutually exclusive. Lakers standard, feels like Lonzo and LeVar have a family split. I don't know if that's the case anymore. It seemed like it at first. But from everything they've been reading, and most of this is from Ramona's articles, is that he's very much involved, and he's still there, and all this kind of smells like LeVar, so I don't know. LaMelo can't get out until he's 18. It seemed like there was that big push right when it all happened, like, oh yeah, let's all go for it. Let's break away from the family, and let's just be like the LaMelo, Jello, Lonzo kids, and move forward. And I think they all kind of push back when they talk to their dad, who they've been with forever, obviously, and who they trust. So it seems like he's still very much around. Fast Fashion 25, is this Laker talk or Lonzo talk? Well, Fast Fashion, it's both. So you can put out whatever you want to talk. I want to talk about Lonzo is a huge topic because that just dropped right now, and he is a Laker. So yeah, it's both. So Caruso's a backup to Lonzo next year. A backup, yes, but you still need a third guard, and probably Caruso would probably be that third guard where you would have Lonzo, another guard that's likes of like a Kyrie, Kemba, another guard in that sense, another big-time good player, a good solid guard, maybe a 2 guard, like a Drew Holiday type, even though he's not a free agent. So that type of guy, though, a ball handler that is also a shooter that doesn't need to be the assist guy, doesn't need to be the facilitator, and that's what Lonzo's for, because Lonzo can play with anybody. Beltran Pez says, hope he works on his game too. Yeah, I'm sure he's working on his game right now, because he did over last summer, and he was getting better. He was shooting, I believe, around 36% from 3 this year, which is one of the best on the team. Schwa says, Caruso and Williams got to stay. I think we're seeing... Let's just be careful what we're saying here with Caruso and Williams, by the way, because they are still G League players, very young, but they're also playing on a very bad team with nothing else out there. They have a ton of energy. They're putting the ball in the basket. They have good touch around the rim. Obviously, Caruso has some major hops, but let's see what they do with real players on their team and not the rest of the G League All-Stars around them. Marcus Smith 818 says, what impact will KCP kicking rocks to another team? Will that be a setback for Clutch and LeBron? No, absolutely not. KCP is going to go somewhere else and hopefully try and get paid somewhere, because it's, again, he shot, 1 of 9. He took 19 shots tonight. 19, way too many. But you know what? If he's going to make them, fine. But he didn't make them. So this is not the one there. KCP will go to another team. He'll get paid. That has nothing to do with it. Clutch and LeBron and KCP have been... Everything's already done. They did a 1-year deal of 18 and a 1-year deal of 12. He got 2 years, $30 million. He's just fine for what he did for the Lakers, which was pretty much nothing. So yes, not at all. That's not what's going to happen. It's fine. He can go. There's no other issue there. Al's Acoustic. Oh, Fabulous Me. Zoe gone. No, Zoe's going to be here. Unless there's some crazy trade, but I don't want that, and we've talked about that a ton. Al's Acoustic says, hello, Greg, changing hats again. Yes, I change my hat every game. I don't want to wear the same hat 2 days in a row, 2 games in a row, 2 live streams in a row. I have a lot of different hats. I wear a lot of different hats. That's at the work, that's at home, that's everything. So I will be wearing different hats consistently. And because I like wearing different hats, it changes up the look every once in a while. Jay Longshore 25, Zoe just needs to just separate from LeVar on the business side of things. I totally agree with you. And hopefully that's what's happening, but I just don't see it happening. And this is something that, because this just stinks of LeVar because if the one guy that it was supposed to, with Lonzo and Harrison Gaines, were supposed to go off on their own and take control of their lives, and then Harrison's gone, that's just reading between lines. That just sounds like LeVar is still there and making these and helping with the decisions. So unfortunately, that's what's happening. Shane K. Lee, LeVar needs to look in the mirror and see what's best for his son. Stop trying to live their lives. Yes, you're not wrong, and I don't actually like talking about LeVar, period, because that's what he wants, but he's at such a big story again right now. Franklin Peanuts, let's say the Lakers keep the pick. NBADraft.net is saying Cam Reddish falls to the 10th pick. Are you buying or selling Cam Reddish with the 10th pick? I'm actually selling, because when it really came, he was injured, I understand, but he was terrible in that last game for Duke, and was really, when you talk about the Duke guys, if it's not R.J. Barrett or Zion Williamson, I think you're kind of wanting to go somewhere else. He may be a good player in the NBA and for years to come, but that's not where I want to go. There's plenty of other guys, and if you want a bunch of guys that would be great for the Lakers, go over to Showtime Forum, pinned to the top of the Showtime Forum Twitter page. There's a whole bunch of college players broken down by all the members of Showtime Forum, and they all put down 1 or 2 guys. So go ahead, check that out, and it's going to keep being updated as we keep going along. So make sure to check those out if you really want to see who the good players are, and really kind of sift through it yourself on which college player you like. Bro Walton, I like Kobe White or Romeo Langford. Langford shot bad, but he's been playing with a bad thumb and had surgery today. Yeah, that's probably things like that. Surgery right before the draft kind of pushes you back a little bit too. So maybe that's in an area, but I think Kobe White, yeah, that's not a bad one. He's one of the ones that is featured in that Showtime Forum breakdown that I was talking about. That's pinned to the top there. Bro Walton again says Kobe fits well with Zoe. Let's be real. There's not much this pick should do for us as it relates to our ambition of superstar pairing. No, and that's not. It's all about the summer, and that's everything that we talk about. Doesn't matter what you talk about, whether it's Caruso, whether it's the pick, whether it's what's going on with Lonzo, whether what's happening, whoever, Ingram, all of those things. everything that you're thinking about is all, it doesn't matter until the summer. The summer is what really matters moving forward and what is the biggest deal total. So what's going to happen this summer is totally up in the air, but that's what we are waiting for right now. I meant from Lakers to Dodgers. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Yes, I did. I wear, when I'm doing a Lakers stream, I wear Lakers stuff. When I'm wearing a Dodgers stream, I wear Dodgers stuff. Alice Acoustics. So yeah, there you go. Starborn007, another white man wanting the black dad to leave. Why would you talk about someone's dad? Typical. Okay. This is the problem when I just read things right out loud without actually seeing it. And this has nothing to do in that sense. If anything, he has been nothing but there for his kids and really been involved in their lives from day one. So no, I'm not asking for him to leave. I'm not saying he should go anywhere, but if we look at the path that LeVar Ball has taken for his sons, has been completely negative for all three of his sons. Except, I mean, Lonzo, not so much, because Lonzo was such an amazing talent on his own. But if you want to really go into it, Lonzo got himself into the NBA. Lonzo was able to basically just shut off the things that LeVar was saying. Is like, that's just my dad, and that's how I would talk about with my dad as well. But what he's done for him is he's put him into a situation with Triple B, and Triple B was a complete and utter disaster. And he brought in a guy in Alan Foster that stole $1.5 million from him, that had done this before in the past. This wasn't anything new. This wasn't the first time that he has done these things. He was in jail for these exact things before, and he was introduced in the same exact way. Again, no. So this is not, and when he did it for his other kids, he took his kids out. He took LiAngelo out of UCLA and took him over to Lithuania. He took LaMelo out of high school, took him to Lithuania, and then he wasn't able to be, we're not even sure if he's even going to be available to play in college play. We don't even know what his life is going to be like. It's totally changed for him. They have this big giant star on top of him now that they really shouldn't be having, and so it's making him, because the way that he talks and says like never lost, and how he turned Lonzo into the best player in the world, said he was better than LeBron, said he was better than Steph Curry, and he was saying better than Jordan and all those kind of things. Well, great, that's what your dad should say about you. You don't go out into the world and say that over and over again and make people think that. That's part of the problem. It has nothing to do with race. Smith 1, Juwan Howard is not the coach for us. I didn't know Pelinka played on the Fab 5 team. Yes, he did play on that Fab 5 team, Smith. He was a part of that. He was, play is, you can say he was on that team, but yes, and Juwan Howard, again, I don't think Juwan Howard is there. That's another one that just reeks of LeBron, who knows Juwan Howard, played with him, played for him as a coach in Miami, and just being like, let's get your name out there by putting you out there. I don't think that's who the guy is going to be either. Robin Yeezy, don't waste your breath on LeVar. Greg, everyone knows the deal with him. Yeah, look, it has nothing to do with any of that stuff. But I'm happy to have the discussion, though. I just want it to be known that is a totally fine thing to talk about. Just don't accuse without knowing the full facts. No Hayton 32. Melo is going back overseas. I support LeVar based on the fact that we got Zoe and Melo when he's 18. That's a bonus. Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's see. Lakers Standard. Dude, Greg, you don't even have to explain yourself. The dude trolling. Look, the whole point of Showtime Forum, the postgame, is to have your voice be heard. So if somebody wants to come on here and be a troll and be dumb, I'll read it once and I'll have the conversation with you. But after that, if it's just silly talk and just trying to bait me, I'll probably move away from it. But I'm not going to block you. I'm not going to mute you. I'm not going to do any of those things, because this is for everybody. This is a community. Thank you. This is for this. So I don't have a problem having this conversation with people. That's just fine with me. Jonathan Watson 0984. Lonzo to Nike and Clutch. Book it. Jonathan, I'm sorry you feel that way. You just lost. Unfortunately, as Ramona says in her tweet, go to her tweet that talks about this exact story about Harrison Gaines and him parting ways. One of the very first people talk to her and she responds with about the Clutch thing. Not likely. At that point, probably still going to go ahead. I'm going to say that's what's going to happen. Smith 1, Zoe will be a monster next year. I really believe that too. I think he's a monster already, but he needs to be into that NBA body. We've talked about this on multiple post games. These guys need to be in their NBA bodies. This is why you see young guys get injured so often their first couple years of their career, because they're just not ready to be for this physical game. The season's longer. The games are longer. The game is more it's more violent. The guys are bigger. It's just when you get hit, it's not being hit by some little 6'2" guy that weighs 175 pounds. You're being hit by a 6'2" guy that weighs 225 pounds and will knock you on your ass. Thank you very much. It doesn't matter which one. Thank you. I appreciate it. I got some water, and because of that, my mouth is dry. I'm going to drink it. That's good stuff. Al's Acoustic, he's beyond a helicopter parent. Laker Facts, Melo is playing overseas next year. Okay, well, see, there you go. That's a whole nother issue. Laker Standard, LeVar legit messed up Jello's career, pulled him out of UCLA instead of having him go play elsewhere. Agreed there. Michael John 95, I don't think KCP is manna from heaven. He bricked every... No. KCP is not bread falling from the sky when you're walking through the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. I'm sorry. That is not who KCP is. Oh, I'm so hungry. And here we go. Here's bread falling from the sky that I'm going to eat to keep myself alive. No, that's not who KCP is whatsoever. Al's Acoustic, Jello messed his own career up. Yes, he did. He absolutely did, but he didn't have to leave. He could have stayed in school. He could have stayed and possibly been a factor this year for UCLA. But instead, he got pulled out. So those are two things that were a problem. Apex 323, Lonzo to clutch book it. Again, another one that's not happening. You don't believe Ramona, Apex? You're going to be one of the few people in the world that does not believe Ramona. So if you want to go that, let's go ahead. I will. Let's have a next talk. Let's have some actual discussion here. What's going to happen? So I think, and I'm going to go by Ramona and say doesn't sign with Clutch and signs with somewhere else like CAA or Rock Nation or somewhere else. And you say Clutch. What can we bet on something? Just like I don't know. We can think of something. I don't want money. I don't want anything that's like tangible. Just put out a post that just says Greg was right, and that was it in giant letters, and put some great gif of being like a bow down or something like that. That's all, because that's exactly what's gonna happen. And I'll do it the other way. If he signs with Clutch, I will say Apex 323 was right. How about that? If you want to shake on it, put a big high five on the screen. If you agree with me, Apex, just put the high five on the screen. This is mine. Pop. That's what we'll do. Bro Walton, I can't believe Casey put up 19 shots tonight. Laughing my out. Yeah, I can't believe it either. Robin Yeezy, I don't mind KCP taking 19 shots since there wasn't many guys better than him on the team tonight. No, I mean, someone's got to shoot, and KCP is not shy of shooting whatsoever, clear as day. So, no, that's totally fine. Let's see. We got... He brought you LeBron Apex? Yeah, sure. El Carraza, LOL, 40 years. Isn't it, Berg? 40 days and 40 nights was Jesus. You're thinking Moses. Hey, look, I never thought that I was religious. I've never pretended to be religious. I had a bar mitzvah when I was 13 years old, and I never went back to temple. Yes, I'm Jewish, if you couldn't tell by the giant nose. But all these things... Yes, if it was 40 years, then fine, it was 40 years. I just know it's manna from heaven. I don't know the Bible either. Oh, we got a handshake from Apex 323. That's right. All right. So if he signs anywhere else but Clutch, Apex 323 _ has to put a Greg was right in giant letters. And if he signs with and if he does sign with Clutch, I have to put Apex 323 _ was right in giant letters on Twitter. We're in agreement. We've got the handshake, got the high five right there. All right, we're good. Laker Facts, shave the ShowtimeForum logo into your hair. Oh, that would have been a good one. Oh, we already agreed, though. Man, Where's that? Oh, that's the bet. Wear a Clippers jersey? No, I don't want that garbage on me if it somehow turns out wrong for me. I'll be happy to make myself look like a fool on social media. I do it every post game, so that's totally fine. Arlene thinks clutch too. It makes sense. You're right. It does. It makes a ton of sense to go too clutch, but it's just not. I believe what Ramona says is gospel to me. So I believe it because she's just is so care. It's not just because who she is and she's a friend and all those kinds of things. It's because she's very, very careful about what she says and what she puts out. She never says something without being 1000% sure. It's very rare for her to be wrong. It happens, just like everybody's wrong, but it's so very rare that I trust her for the most part. L'chaim from El Caraiza. I like that. I haven't been to church since I was 14. High five. All right, Laker facts. That's what I'm talking about. And I love this. This is now my new favorite thing. The high five to the camera is a new favorite thing for me. Ray El Barbone, what do you think about the Lakers' free throw shooting issues this season? Did they improve enough, or is that something we address in the offseason? All right, that's a great question. And when it comes to free throw shooting, I don't think that's something that you can totally fix in the offseason. I don't think it's... there's so many other things. Guys can shoot them over and over and over again, and somebody like Lonzo can actually fix his entire form for free throw shooting over the offseason. I don't know if he's going to or not, but working with a coach and doing all those things, I hope that's something that works, that they work on over the offseason. What's great about this is that glass half full, or there's a new video on ShowtimeForum on the Instagram, a ShowtimeForum on Twitter that we'll be retweeting throughout, I think tonight, or even tomorrow, is about LeBron's free throw shooting and what he did that was so different from the beginning of his career. We're talking about like 2006 to 2019 now, is that he was a guy, was it 2004? Whichever it was. He was somebody that you could see in his free throw shooting, he's not shooting the same. It's not a repetitive motion for him. When you're to be a good free throw shooter, you basically do the exact same thing over and over again. The repeat and being in that same breathing pattern and same total motion gets you to start having that same shot over and over again. Think about, who was it? It was Nash that used to rub the side of his face. And he would do that every single time to say hello to his kids and his family, but it was something that he would do in order that would keep everything going. Personally, and you see it with a lot of guys too, 3 dribbles, breathe, dip, go straight forward, and everything kind of goes up in one motion. When you look at LeBron and you follow and you actually watch this video of year by year how his free throw shooting has changed, it changes. He goes from a big giant dip in his free throw shot to being completely straight up shooting. Then this year, all of a sudden he's taking a step back first and then forward. And that's just not going to get it done. When you're doing all these different things, you're not going to be a good free throw shooter. So I think those are things that do need to be fixed over the summer, and just being that Glass Half Fultz video on ShowtimeForum is exactly what it is, at Glass Half Fultz. Let's see. Someone's saying I saw that. I think you're a little biased. Come on, Greg. Apex. I'm biased. I'm admitting that I'm biased to Ramona but it's not because of anything else besides the fact that she's extremely careful of what she talks about, and she's the one reporting the story. She's the one that reported the Alan Foster story. She's the one that reported the fact that Harrison Gaines was leaving. So if you don't think that she knows what the next steps are by talking to all of them, by talking to LeVar and by talking to Lonzo and talking to everybody in that family and actually talking to Alan Foster and talking to everybody, that's how you're going to get this done. Of course, she's going to know what's happening. So yes, especially in this situation, my bias comes across, and it's true because that's what it is. George Santiago on Twitch, free throw shooting is contagious. We need to get players with 80% free throw. We only have KCP on that. Yeah, well, Reggie Bullock is a very high free throw shooter as well. And now if you're keeping guys like Caruso, he's a good free throw shooter as well. Yes, but you need to have a good free throw shooting. This was the biggest problem coming into the season. Once you knew you weren't getting shooters, you looked at the first thing that we looked at. I've been doing this since game 4 of this season. The first thing that we looked at, I think it was the very first game talking about free throw shooting, because there was not one guy, including KCP last year, that was above 80% or had 80% or higher free throw shooting going into this season. KCP was around 78, 79 last year. So nobody, not one guy, had 80% free throw shooting, and that's going to continue going on. None of these guys are even, like, Lonzo was never a good free throw shooting. Most of these, LeBron couldn't shoot. Lonzo isn't a good free throw shooter. Ingram and Kuzma were getting better as the year went on. They both got injured, but their free throw shooting did get better as the year went on, especially Ingram's. And there was a big period of time where Kyle Kuzma was the best free throw shooter on the team. Jonathan Watson, 0984, Ali Clifton on Spectrum Sportsnet has never seen a few good men. Oh, that's disappointing. A lot of people just don't like Tom Cruise, though, so that's fine there. She didn't know what you can't handle the truth meant. Wow. I mean, how old is Allie Clifton, though? So let's be fair about that. Hold on. It's probably around the same age. She's probably in her low 20s. Michelle, I have a question for you that's going to... Yes, she is younger than I am, in her 20s. Have you seen A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise?
It sounds very old.
Sounds very old. If I said, you can't handle the truth, would you know what that's from or what that meant?
I can just see his face and his hand shaking like that in my head. I never saw the rest of the movie.
Okay, so but you saw that part, so you know what it's actually from.
Yeah, I just
see it's like, you can't handle... But do you know who it was that said it? No, it was Jack Nicholson. But that's... So, yeah, okay. See, so we're about the same. All right, but the fact that, no, you actually knew, though. You saw it.
Now I'm thinking of something else.
Oh, you're thinking of something totally different. All right, so there we go. So there you go. It's that movie, A Few Good Men, is a very old movie. So don't even worry about that. Everyone on the Lakers roster next season should call Kobe to practice free throws in the offseason. Yes, but here's the thing with Kobe, and Laker Facts, you're right. Kobe has said over and over again that he will talk to anybody that wants to talk to him. Anybody. It doesn't matter. She would absolutely, he says, call me up, I'm here, I will talk to you, I will work out with you, meet me at the gym at 3 o'clock in the morning. And they just have to go do it. So if Lonzo really wants to go do that, if all these guys want to, and yes, Al's Acoustic, DeAndre Jordan did become a great free throw shooter because he completely changed it up 1,000. He's a totally different free throw shooter. They changed his entire mechanics. So if they're willing to change their entire mechanics over an offseason, maybe that'll happen. Apex323, which I'm loving talking to you so far. If Dave McMenamin shuts down Zota Clutch, then I believe it. See, what's the difference there? Dave McMenamin is not actually writing the story with Lonzo and Clutch, or with Lonzo and Alan Foster and Harrison Gaines and all of these guys actually being with them and writing stories about it. Why would you, if Dave McMenamin is just like, oh, yeah, that's not happening, you're like, okay, now I'm in. I think your bias is showing a little bit, just as mine is. I believe Dave in certain things, especially when it comes to LeBron, you have to understand, okay, let's do this for a second. Every single insider that you see on Sports Center, on The Jump, on whatever it is, every single one of these guys have sources. They all have sources. And you can tell who their source actually is based on what they're reporting. Adrian Wojnarowski, you can tell when it's a story about the Lakers, it's usually very different than what the Lakers is. So what they're even talking about, because he doesn't have sources inside the Lakers. He has sources everywhere else. He has sources with San Antonio, so it's usually very pro San Antonio. He has sources with New Orleans, so you're seeing a lot of the New Orleans stuff that's coming out being very much pushed over towards the New Orleans side. Dave McMenamin has been with LeBron for a very long time, so anything that he puts out there, you got to assume that LeBron has some kind of say into it. And just like the Ramona, who's working with Lonzo and is involved in that entire story, is working with Lonzo. So her source is actually saying it on there is Lonzo. So I have to believe that. So you just make sure. So just make sure that when you look at it, think about who they would talk to on a consistent basis, who their stories usually reflect on, and that's the person that their source usually is. Stephen A. Smith, when he talks about things with Lakers-wise, you can tell that's coming from management. That's coming from Lakers management because he's close with those guys. He talks about it. He talks about his time with Magic Johnson. So you kind of got to assume that whatever he's saying is coming from Magic in that sense. Just think about it a little bit more objectively and not so much about by the name. Everybody has their good and bad sides to it. So there's that. And okay, not hating 32. Greg hates Windhorst. So do I. I don't hate any of these guys. Windhorst is a guy that you can tell where he's kind of lost his sources. His source was LeBron, because he was with them forever in Cleveland and lived in Cleveland. Those guys don't have. LeBron's not there anymore. He doesn't. And so he doesn't have that same source anymore, so it changes. When you hear Brian Windhorst talk now, he's not saying sources are saying, or this is what I'm hearing. He's saying this is what I think now. He's using the words I think, because these are in what he believes now. It's his opinions now. He's no longer the guy that's the source guy, he's the opinion guy. And so that's when it starts to change, and that's when everything moves. So just being careful there. Dave has a good relationship with Bron and Clutch. Absolutely. Sure does. And that's why you believe things from LeBron and Clutch. Frank Talk LA, how are you still doing this? You're a trooper. Frank Talk, you know what? I said I was going to do it from start to finish, and I got to finish out. I'm doing tonight. I'm doing Tuesday night, and then Lakers are done, except for some random things throughout the summer when big things happen. And then it's mostly Dodger talk at that point. She's never seen The Godfather. She's never seen The Goodfellas. I don't think you haven't seen Goodfellas, have you? No, yeah, I didn't think you'd seen Goodfellas. That's no, you saw Godfather. We watched Godfather not too long ago. Did you actually watch it though? You kind of went in and out of it. No, yeah. See, but these are like guy movies. These are I don't expect them.
Tell them to watch Coffee.
Oh yeah, Michelle says watch Coffee, and then you'll understand. It was that Koffy, right? Coffey, and it's with Pam Grier. See, that's the type of movie she likes. She likes the Pam Grier type movies. And what's the other one? The one that we haven't watched yet that we're supposed to watch? Foxy Brown is the other one that we're supposed to start watching. So there you go. Caustic 187. What? Stop the show. Go put on Goodfellas. I love Goodfellas. So I've seen it. She just hasn't. Eventually we'll get there. I just got her into Game of Thrones. She finished all of Game of Thrones. You know, these are processes to get to see some of these movies. Good thing his girlfriend brings the water. She's bored out of her mind. No, she's playing. She's reading her stories, and she's got some games and stuff. She's doing just fine. Yeah, so and we did just watch Coffee the other night, and that actually I liked it. It was fun. It was I mean, I understand it was a blaxploitation film, and that's what they're called, but it was good. Ask her if she's seen Jackie Brown. Have you seen Jackie Brown? Yeah, she saw Jackie Brown. She's seen all the Pam Grier movies except for Foxy Brown, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. They need to go to Jackie Moon. Call the guy that fixed DeAndre Jordan's free throws. Yeah, that would be fine. He's been covering Lakers for years and Clutch for LeBron. Yes, absolutely. By the way, was TNT trolling the Lakers tonight, showing highlights of the Showtime and Shaq and Kobe Lakers? That was very funny, Jonathan Watson. You can't be upset with that. It's very much like they're talking about. There was no highlights in that first half, except for I think it was I don't even remember when the Caruso dunk was in the first half or the second. I think it was in the first half. So that was the one thing that actually happened. So there was no highlights. It was all bad lights. So of course they were playing. Yes, they were trolling them, and it was very funny, and I was all about it too. Earlier tonight, I heard on Fox that LeBron can't even get guys to be in Space Jam 2. Yeah, that was a Windhorst thing. He said that exact same thing. I mean, look, when Space Jam 2 comes out, if there's no guys in it, then that's true. But I just can't believe that. That'd be crazy. I don't believe that at all. If LeBron can't get guys to be in the major movie with him, how is he going to get guys to play with him? We're not there. Let's see how the summer actually plays out. I'm not there yet. I think they're going to get guys. They're not going to get the A-list guys. They're not going to get the K names. Anybody that has a K in front of it, their first name starts with a K, they're not getting him. Clay, Kawhi, Kyrie, Kemba, KD, which is Kevin. None of those guys are coming. So just push them all out of your brains because they're not coming. Maybe Kyrie, but I don't see it. George Santiago, do you think Jeannie's comments on Walton is a way of letting him go but not making him the main scapegoat? I think that was just a way of letting him go. I think she's saying, I want him. This seems like her way of saying, I have his back. I love Luke. I chose him. I wanted him to stick around. But I'm not going to make that decision. I'm going to leave that up to Magic Johnson to make that decision. I trust Magic Johnson. And what she's saying is Magic is going to make that choice. And most likely, Magic's going to say, see you, Luke. And most likely, I would expect to see it next week at some point. Who knows when. But the season ends on Tuesday. I wouldn't expect it Wednesday, Thursday. I don't think it's going to take very long. Luke will be let go. Do you think that Luke will be the Lakers coach next year? Dodgers 35. I just said that no. You'll see him gone Wednesday, Thursday, somewhere around there. And Brian does good work, but it's clear he's no longer plugged into Bron anymore. It's very, very clear. Classic movies. Yes, those are all these movies. Let's see. Jonathan Watson. Pam Grier is starring in a new ABC sitcom called Bless This Mess. Premieres April 16th. Hey, Michelle. Sorry. I know you got your headphones on because you don't like hearing me talk. You hear me enough. But Pam Grier has a new show on ABC called Bless This Mess, and it premieres April 16th. So I have a feeling that's something we're gonna end up watching. Yes. Yep. That was a big shake of the head. Yes. Yeah. So. Let's see. When is Mason coming on this show? Apex 323. He's not going to be coming on this show because I have tonight and I have Tuesday of next week. But I talked to him and he will be going on to my Dodgers post game show, which is, I believe, I'm either going to call it the Blue Review, like Cole Wright offered up to me, or I'm going to call it just Greg Bergman Live. And I think that's probably the best way to go. Just use my name and just stick with it there, because just let it be that. Showtime Forum is always going to be Showtime Forum. Showtime Forum is not just me. Showtime Forum is Rael Barbone and Adele Del Toro and Golden Knight and Donnie Ekbode and David Portillo and Devon Johnson and Ben Holes and McHale, and I'm blanking on somebody. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, so I'm very sorry if I am missing somebody. But everybody that's a part of Showtime Forum, that's all. And Ricardo Garcia, excuse me. So so all of those people are all very, very much a part of Showtime Forum. It's not just me. So that my Dodger stuff is going to be me, and I think some of them are going to help me out. But it's going to be it's going to be more of it. Name all 11 of us. No hating 32. Are you a part of it? I don't know who you are. I don't know. Are you part of Showtime Forum? Because there are about 11 of you, and I feel like I'm missing somebody, and I think I named all of them. If I missed one, I'm going to feel like a jerk, but I think I got all of them. I think I got all of you guys. Yeah. I'm not missing any. And Michelle. Oh, no! I did it again! And Michelle is very much, don't stick your tongue out of me. Oh, God, I'm sleeping on the couch tonight. Yes, Michelle is the biggest part of all of this because she's been with me from day one and really made the whole thing. She is my producer. She does everything for me. And when we first started Lakers Raw, before it was Showtime Forum, it was just me and her. And she was in charge of all of Instagram, and I did all the on Twitter, and she built it up to 2,000 followers all by herself. Or about 1,500. So, yes, Michelle is very, very much a part of it. When is Mason coming on? You don't know that for sure. Nobody expected PG to stay. I'm sure I'm missing something there. Michael John 95. Let's celebrate the end of the season playing pickup basketball for Showtime Forum supporters. Hey, I'll do it. Happy to do it. If you guys want to set something up, go onto Showtime Forum and start setting something up. I will play pickup basketball. I need to get back out there. Find me a court. Find me something. Let's go play. I usually play on Tuesdays. But yes, we can absolutely do that. Michael J 95, JA 95. Figure it out. Let's make this happen. Make a big Showtime. Maybe I'll get a bunch of shirts and bring them all with me as well. Beltran Pez. We also need new athletic staff. Everyone's getting injured all the time. Yeah, the staff for the Lakers is a problem as well. This is something that is a very big thing. Where it needs to be. The staff is a thing. You're seeing guys that are supposed to be out for 1 to 2 weeks, be out 4 to 6 weeks, or that are supposed to be out 4 to 6 weeks, being out 8 to 12 weeks. It's a bad thing. That's usually you overpromise or you underpromise and overdeliver. They're overpromising and underdelivering, and that's usually the sign of a bad staff. And yes, we are missing VE Caustic 187. So, DJ Primetime 2 over on Twitch, how do you feel about Woj's comments about the Lakers organization, saying they aren't on the same page? He's 100% right. And DJ Primetime, this may be your first time on this post-game show, which I don't blame you for whatsoever, but this is something we've been talking about all year long. The Lakers staff, from top to bottom, I'm talking from ownership all the way down to the janitors, is a problem. The owner on the president of basketball operations, Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka, not on the same page. They're not doing a good enough job. They haven't made the right decisions. Going down into Luke Walton. Luke Walton has had his issues, but he's not going to be here. He's been lame duck since game 3. What was it? Game 7 of the season, when there was the admonishment after they were 2-5. That's a huge problem. So yes, he's absolutely right that the organization does not get along, and that includes LeBron and all of that too. Moving down from Luke into LeBron and Clutch, which is actually above all of them, into how they made decisions that had to do with the trade deadline and trying to get AD over without actually talking to the players in the right way. And then so you have Ingram and Lonzo and Kuzma and Hart and Wagner, or not Wagner, but Zubats, all worrying, am I going to be here? Am I not going to be here? Am I going to be traded? All this stuff that got into their head because it was just so much talk. That was a problem. That was a big problem. So yes, all the way, and the coaching, we just talked about the training staff. The training staff is a problem where they're over promising and under delivering, and everywhere it's just a problem. You need to change. You need to change everything about this organization and build that winning culture all over again. Let's see. I got Ricky Tiki Tavi saying indoor, brah. Yes, absolutely. I like playing indoors. You know what? It's weird, though. I play better outdoors than I do indoors, but I've been playing indoors a lot more, so it's getting a lot better. Let's see. Jonathan Watson, you nervous about Ken Lee in Colorado? No, I'm not. I think that was something that he's not worried about it, so I'm not worried. His doctors aren't worried about it, so I'm not worried about it. Donovan Bryan 8, do LeBron's very confident about players wanting to play with him give you any confidence, Greg? Yeah, it does. I mean, I think somebody's going to, when he says players want to play with him, that doesn't mean that they actually, that it's going to be the superstars. It doesn't mean it's going to be Kevin Durant, who is being, all things being said, is going to New York. It doesn't mean it's going to be Kawhi, who, all things being said, is going to be going to the Clippers. It doesn't mean it's going to be Klay, who is going to be staying with the Warriors. Kemba, who I could very well see staying in Charlotte for a max deal. Maybe it's Kyrie, but Kyrie could very well go to New York with Kevin Durant and then start building their team there. So I don't know who it's going to be, and that's the biggest problem, because all of these very confidence that he's throwing out there doesn't mean that they're actually going to come. Sebastian Quo, my best advice to Jeannie is to lay off the media till the offseason and stay away from the fake news. Totally agreed. At some point, people always say, "I want you to talk more and more." And yes, she's going on all these podcasts and she's going all these different things, and she's not saying enough. It's crazy. And she's saying too much. Like, just stop. Dan Dean Man 2 says hello. Hey, what's up, Dan? Ricky Tiki Tavi, J Kidd has a horrible track record too. Can't believe they want him. I don't think they actually want him. I think that's just something that was put out by Jason Kidd. And here's the thing. Look, Jason Kidd, and this is all over the place. This is not something. Go to Wikipedia. You can see it with his wife. He is a wife beater. He beat his wife multiple times. No, maybe it was once. I don't remember, but exactly. No, I have no interest in that. If that's the type of guy you are not right for the Lakers head coach. And period. End of story. I can't believe I watched that game, Dan DeMan. Yeah, it was so bad. Yes, but we do, because we're Laker fans. And you know what? You're going to watch the game tomorrow night against the Clippers, just like I'm going to. And then you're going to watch the game on Sunday. And then you're going to watch the game on Tuesday against Portland. You're going to watch these games because you want to watch the games, and you still want to watch the Lakers, even though it's not even the Lakers. It's the G League. It's the South Bay Lakers. So, no. Beltran Pez says, nobody wants to be in LeBron's shadow. #fact. Don't totally disagree with that. Last couple ones. I'm going to try and start cutting this here. Maybe getting one or two more questions, and then I'm going to head out. Jimmy the serial killer Butler, Kevin Meteora. Look, if I say anything positive about Jimmy Butler, David Portillo will be right on me saying like, oh, ha, see, I told you. So I'm not a big Jimmy fan. I think he's an amazing talent, but he's a B player. He's not an A player, so I'm not sure. Bro Walton, right. We talk high character guys and whatnot, and Mark Jackson and Kidd are the opposite of that. Agreed 100%. No Hating 32. Feel sorry for those who paid for tickets, South Bay. Yep, they sure do. It's a bad thing. Robin Yeezy, Greg, are you going to be jumping on Dodgers Nation podcast? No, Robin Yeezy, I'm not going to be doing anything with Dodgers Nation. We split ways. We are completely separated at this point. I still love all the guys at Dodgers Nation. I was literally texting with FRG last night after the game, and Brooks Smith and him do a fantastic job on Blue Heaven, and I think they just had they just did their podcast just today, their live podcast. They do a great job. Nothing against any of those guys. I think they're the best. I'm friends with them. So, but no, I don't think they're going to be having me on anytime soon. And that's just needs because we need a little bit of space for that first part. But if they're welcome over here, I have no issue. If one of them wants to come sit with me one time, happy to have them because they know their stuff. Dodgers 35, do you think that the Lakers will trade their picks or keep them? I think it depends on what pick they get and what they think they can get for that pick. And at that point, if they somehow move up in the draft where they're in that top 3, maybe they keep it and they try and get Barrett, Zion Williamson, or John Morant or something of those types. Maybe not. But they're most likely going to be around the 10 seed, especially with this loss, and they're going to lose the next 3 too. Highlight of the season was Caruso dunk. That was a great dunk. That was a fantastic dunk. I think that may actually be the highlight of the season because it was just dirty. Ricky Tiki Tavi, I have tickets to the last game I bought last for Christmas. Hey, go enjoy. Just look at what type of wine LeBron's drinking. I don't know. You'll have fun. It's still a spectacle being at a Laker game. All right, you know what? I'm gonna cut it here. I think it's just about time. So thank you very much for being with me. Only one more Showtime Forum podcast still left to go. It's gonna be Tuesday, but there's a new Showtime Forum. Post game. New Showtime Forum podcast is coming out tomorrow, I believe, with Adele Del Toro and Rael Barbone. So those guys are going to do a great job. You're going to love what you're seeing from them. And then they're going to do a bunch of stuff throughout the year. It's going to be more live content from them and more YouTube-style content from me as well during the off season. So thank you very much for being here. I'll be back with you guys on Tuesday for a season wrap-up, a season finale for the Lakers. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys coming up again soon. I'm out of here. See you.